Hey there, posture guys and gals. Justin Archer here, aka the Posture Guy, your number one source on pain, posture, and performance. And the other day, my wife and I were going into the grocery store, and as we were entering, I saw that there were all these pumpkins outside, and it completely dawned on me that, oh my gosh, it's kind of going towards the end of October, Halloween is next week, the holiday season has begun, it's upon us, and to me, that really means one thing, is that I'm going to be getting a lot of calls and emails from my clients with excuses as to why they've missed a day here, 2 days here, maybe even consecutive days of not doing their exercises. And don't get me wrong, some of them are very legitimate excuses because I understand during the holiday season there's a lot going on. Right now parents are either buying or making their kids costumes for Halloween. They may be throwing some parties, so they're putting that together. Come Thanksgiving, you got family coming in from out of town, you're preparing, a big feast. Then you got Christmas coming up, you're buying gifts for everyone, cards and mailing stuff out. You got to wrap things, you got to get a tree, there's another whole big meal. There's a lot going on, so I get it. All of our plates are full. I always look forward to January because, come the New Year's, everybody has these great New Year's resolutions that usually surround around health and fitness. So come that time, man, everybody is signing up, everybody is, doing their exercises every day. It's great. January, February, the first whole quarter of the year is my favorite time because it's the easiest for me. But, like I said, I know that, with October, November, December, with this time of the year, people are going to be missing days of doing their exercises. So what I wanted to do today was talk about the 3 best and worst activities that you can do that can positively or negatively affect your posture. So like I mentioned before, it's not all about the exercises. If you miss a day or 2 of doing the exercises, it's not the end of the world. You got to think about other things, how you're sleeping, what position you're driving in, how many hours have you been logging in behind the computer? Are you walking a lot? Are you working out? All those things come together. How much water you're drinking, nutrition, etc., etc. So I thought we'd talk about, again, 3 best and 3 worst things, just to kind of be aware, be conscious of this last quarter of the year going into, 2014. So that way, you don't have too much to catch up on come the new year. All right? So I know the name of this post suggests we're going to talk about the 3 best activities first, but I like to get the bad news out of the way. So let's start with the 3 worst. All right? Now, these are activities that usually have a negative effect on your posture, but there's things you can do to change it so that they have a positive effect on your posture. All right? So in no particular order, they are sleeping, driving, and working at a PC or Mac or whichever side of that war you come down on. So sleeping is something that obviously we all need to do. A lot of people I know don't even get enough sleep. The problem is that even if you're spending 30, 45, say even 60 minutes per day doing corrective exercises, postural alignment therapy exercises, self-myofascial release techniques, and working to improve your posture and get out of pain, but then after that, like I said, 30, 45, 60-minute time period of spending doing that, you go to sleep for 5, 6, 7, 8 or more hours in a bad position, you're going to wake up in a bad position because, as we all know, form follows function. So, a lot of people ask, well, what position should I be sleeping in so that I don't basically, wreck my posture? And that's a great question. I've actually put together a whole post on it, which I'll link to down below this video. But to kind of sum it up is, a lot of people don't think of sleeping as an activity, but it is. So just like you would warm up for a sport, you want to warm up or prepare your body for bed. And what I mean by that is you want to bring the best aligned body into bed with you so that then after your resting period, your sleep, you wake up with the best aligned version of you that you can. All right? So maybe if you've already done your exercises, pick your top 2 or 3 exercises and repeat them immediately before going to bed. Again, we're not trying to get a workout, we're not trying to get a sweat going, but we're just trying to maybe take the rotation out of your hips and your torso, so that way when you lay down in bed, everything is nice and symmetrical. So you can try doing that. Preferably you want to be lying on your back with a minimal amount of pillows. But again, if you want to learn more about how to modify your sleeping position, check out the video below on sleeping. All right. Moving on to driving. Driving is something that we all do, some more than others. Some people are logging in a lot of time behind the wheel, 30, 60, 90 minutes one way to and from work. And I've heard from people, I'll do my exercise in the morning, I feel great, I don't have any pain, but then I spend an hour or 15 driving to work, and by the time I get there, my sciatica is acting up again, or my lower back, my herniation seems to have come back and I'm getting that pain, or my knee, or fill in the blank, whatever their symptom is back. And a lot of times, there's a couple reasons for that. Number one is that I find a lot of times people don't have their mirrors and their seats adjusted correctly, and this is especially true if you're doing long distance, whether it's just day-to-day commuting or if you're going on a road trip. So there's things you can do to change that, as well as things you can do immediately before and immediately after you're in the car for a long period of time to kind of reset your posture. All right, and there's more about that down below this video in a link, so make sure to check that out if you believe that driving may be interfering with your progress being made in improving your posture or realigning your posture and relieving your pain. And last but certainly not least, this is one that I have difficulty with from time to time is working at your PC. Obviously, the postural.com is an online business. I spend a lot of time creating these videos, writing posts, putting out good content for you guys. And if you even look back at some of the other videos, there's days where maybe my one shoulder may be a little higher than the other or a little bit more internally rotated. And you can tell, oh wow, Justin was working really hard the last couple days, on this post for us, because you can tell by my posture. So, obviously I'm not a professional, ergonomist. I can never even say that word, ergonomics. Ergonomist specialist, there we go, that's probably easier to say. But you do want your screen at eye height, so you're not looking down at it or way up, but pretty much straight ahead. You do want your keyboard at a nice, easy to reach position. Obviously this is easier if you have a separate screen, separate keyboard, separate mouse like a desktop. If you're like me and you have a laptop, there's other things you can do. A lot of times, I'll set a couple books up, put my laptop on this little kitchen kind of bar counter area, and just work from here. Is it perfect? No, but it sure as hell beats, sitting on a couch or sitting at a desk, like this for hours a day as I type. Because again, you got to remember, form follows function. If you sit like this for a good period of time, your posture is going to start taking on this form. Versus if I'm working, let's say if I had my laptop on top of this pumpkin, which would be weird, but okay, and I'm working up here or about this way, that's a lot better. My shoulders may still have a tendency to roll in, but I'm not going to be like this. All right. So if you want to learn more about some exercises you can do to kind of break up, all the time you're spent in front of a computer, as well as how to set up your computer properly, position-wise, then I've also put a link down below to a post for working pain-free at your PC. So that basically covers the 3 worst activities you can do to, like I said, negatively affect your posture. But if you make the changes that I suggest down below in the other post, for instance, like sleeping can be great for your posture. If you go into bed with proper alignment, you're going to wake up with proper alignment. So again, you can now switch that negative activity into a positive. Sleeping is just one of those things that most of the time I hear from people, I'm improving, but sleeping, I wake up and I'm stiff and sore. And it's because they're not preparing their body properly for sleep, and or they're not sleeping in the right position, so therefore they wake up and they hurt. All right. So I would love to hear some stories, once you change your sleeping position, that you can change sleeping from a negative effect on your posture to a positive. Moving on to the 3 best things you can do to affect your posture, in no particular order, is walking, getting up and down off the ground, I'll go into that in a little bit more later, as well as just playing. All right. So number 1, walking, basically just going out for walks. I make it a point every morning to after I down a good probably 16 ounces of water, is to go take one of our dogs out for a 15, 20, sometimes 30-minute walk. Just the motion of getting that separation between your pelvic girdle, the flexion extension of your hips and pelvis, and just to get things moving, as well as get some vitamin D from the sun, in the morning, is a great way to start the day. Walking is one of the best things you can do. So walk. The better, the more the better. I put a link down below for a post I did completely on walking, some little things you can try while doing walking, different breathing techniques, different gaits and strides you can try, depending on where you may be tight in your gait, or if you notice your feet go out or turn in, things like that. So make sure to check that out below. What was the second one on the list? Oh, I believe it was, well, I can't remember it, so we'll talk about playing. Oh no, I'm sorry, I did remember it. It was getting up and down off the ground. So this one sounds kind of funny, but I can't tell you how many times that, my first session with someone, I'll ask them, can you get up and down off the ground? And they look confused. Like, what do I mean? I'm like, just lay down on the ground. But they haven't done it for so long, because we have couches and chairs and beds. A while back, a couple weeks ago, I actually, on my Vidi channel, put a challenge out to everybody, which is don't use furniture for an entire day. I know you may have the most amazing, most comfortable lazy boys, but you know what? Try sitting with your back against the bottom of one and just sit on the ground. Try laying on your right side. Try laying on your left side. Try sitting in an Indian position, half lotus pose if you're more flexible. Try different positions on the ground, and then try going from a complete supine position. Basically, if the ground was behind me, laying completely down, flat on your back, and then getting up, and then getting down. A lot of times when people are very deconditioned, and I can tell they have trouble doing that, I said, at first you can use props, use a chair, use an ottoman to help you get up, but, every time there's a commercial on TV, practice, for that, however long the commercials are, 30, 40 seconds, a minute, minute and a half, get up and down off the ground, and switch from left to right sides. Don't just get down on your left and up on your left and down on your left and up on your left. Get down on your left, get up on your right, get down on your right, get up on your left. And you want to get to the point where you can get up and down on either side or with both legs evenly without even your arms. When you can do that, the muscles that you'll have to develop, as well as the coordination, the proprioception that you'll develop by doing that, by practicing that, your posture is going to be better, you're going to be walking better, and whatever pain that you're struggling with right now or physical limitation is going to be better. All right? So practice getting up and down off the ground. I think I have another video post for that, or maybe a short video, which I'll link to down below, assuming I have it. And last but certainly not least is go out and play. And what I mean by play is, yes, you can do different sports, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, whatever your favorite, pastime is. Obviously, I know come Thanksgiving, it's going to probably be football. So, during halftime, go take a football and throw it around with the kids. Maybe you already do that, but try to play as much as you can. There's certain sports that are better overall for posture. I would have to say like basketball and soccer, but basketball because you're leaping, jumping, you're squatting, you're defending someone side to side, you're sprinting, you have your arms overhead going for rebounds and trying to dunk the ball, etc., etc. So basketball is a really good one. But also, even take sports out of it, just go out and play like a kid on a playground. When's the last time you were running, jumping, leaping, rolling, climbing, hanging, swinging, doing those types of things? Pretending you're Spider-Man, crawling up a wall, but you could just do it on the ground. Or doing a bear crawl, pretending you're different animals. You're an alligator, you're, I think I already said bear crawl, an inchworm. Moving more primal-like and animalistic. And I'll put a video or link to another video down below so you can see some examples of this. But again, it doesn't have to be, it's not a workout. Don't look at it that way. So it doesn't have to be structured as such. Just go out and play. If you're really confused or don't know what to do, and you have kids or someone that has kids, take them to a playground, watch what they do, and just copy them. Because I guarantee you that they're going to do things that, as an adult, you probably haven't done in a very long time that feeding your body that stimulus is going to do your posture, your entire body overall, a lot of good. A lot of good. So, basically just follow the leader, and just whatever they do, copy them, unless you think that it's going to lead to, some severe injury, which then of course, you can skip whatever movement they're doing for that time, all right? But just move, play, and have fun, all right? So those are the 3 best and worst activities that I want you to be conscious and aware of going into the holiday season, so that if you miss a day or 2 of doing your postural alignment therapy exercises, it's not going to be the end of the world. Because I know, come New Year's, come January, you're going to do it every single day, all right? Anyways, I was going to say happy Halloween, but I'll see you again this week, and probably once more before Halloween. All right? Anyways, thanks for joining me inside this video. I look forward to seeing you inside the next one. Until then, take care and keep moving.